these my Igbo brothers are not even allowing this president to rest. They are praising him every day, every day. I'm sure the man is even shy. He's like he's uncomfortable with the praise singing because he knows that some of these things are just sarcasm. But a lot of people will not understand. It's a funny comment I saw that someone said he should be careful with the Igbos. That's making me laugh. Careful with what? That the Igbos are looking for how to get some things from him. Get what from him? Somebody that they already know will not do anything. What are they getting? You push leave tribe, I beg. Let us listen to let's watch the video, I beg. After watching that video where my Igbo brothers are praising the president, we'll also show you how the presidency, that's the villa, is owing for light. The Wike's ministry is owing for light. Even this ministry of power, that they are in charge of light, they are owing for light that they have used. You know, because they have privatized this light we are using now. That's why we are doing all this. You buy and you load for yourself and all that. There's a company running it. EADC, that's what they call them. They are owing these people. So imagine you now. How would the people now, the masses now pay tax if the law, they are breaking the law? I will put all the videos here for you people to listen to. But let's watch our Igbo brothers first. The funny part is this one, they had to even carry his picture to say he's a good man. Tinubu is a good man. Can you imagine? That is the level it has gotten to. They are praising the bad is busy sleeping this whole thing. So guys, let me play a video of how your government is owing. About 80-something government agencies owing for light. Hey, what a shame. If you, the lawmakers, are breaking the law, then there's a problem.
A leaked utility bill from the Abuja Electricity Distribution Company revealed on Monday that the presidential villa and 86 federal government ministries, departments, and agencies have an outstanding debt of 47 billion naira. As of December 2023, the distribution company, in the leaked memo, said it will disconnect electricity at the presidential villa and the MDAs if the bills are not paid within 10 days. Some of the affected MDAs include the Office of the Chief of Defense Staff, the FCT Ministry, the Ministry of Finance, Ministry of State Petroleum, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Information, Ministry of Education, as well as the Ministry of Agriculture, and much more. This, was released, I saw this in the Punch newspaper yesterday, and there are so many more ministries that were named there. 47 billion naira for electricity bill. What's actually going on here, Dr. Abati, in this country, really? How can this be justified?
Well, the paradox we face here is that when government breaks the law, you will have a lot of lawlessness. If government, 86 MDAs, yes, including the villa, do not pay electricity bills, what example is government setting for the rest of society? These discos, they complain all the time that they have issues, getting bills paid, people tampering with meters and all that. Even government has been exposed as the number one culprit. Now, some of those agencies are owing up to 1 billion, which means that they've been owing. It's a habit for government to just use free electricity. The same government that is talking about encouraging the market, providing an enabling environment for every player, for every investor within the economy. So I think it's good that the Abuja Disco has spoken up. Mm-hmm. But one thing the Abuja Disco has now done, apart from publishing the names of debtors, government debtors, is that it has now given an ultimatum of 10 days. That after 10 days, if by 29 February 2024, all these agencies do not pay, it will start disconnecting electricity supply. Well, that's where, in that regard, I looked at it and said, well, can they enforce their own notice? After all, some of these agencies involved, they are security units. Mm-hmm. Would they go and disconnect light from a Federal Aviation Authority? Would they go to the villa, the number one security unit in Nigeria, to go and disconnect electricity? How would they even have access? Mm-hmm. If at the Office of the National Security Advisor is on that list, they will go there and take out electricity. In fact, to even drive home the point, even the Ministry of Power is owing NEPA.
Come on.
Even the Ministry of Power
Really?
is an electricity debtor unit.
Nigeria has
There's never a dull moment in this country.
There really is never a dull moment.
Kai, God, this is so funny. I cannot laugh alone, guys. Can you imagine the country you guys are living in? Just imagine, these people are owing and then they'll be asking you to pay tax. Imagine. Oh my goodness gracious. 48 billion. Is it a joke? Is it a joke? No wonder these light people are carrying us to play. We are even paying. We buy prepaid, we pay. We buy, we don't load, we can't have light. Look at, and they don't ever take light in the villa. Just look at. So guys, let me allow you to hear another African wonder. How the former secretary to the federal government said that his signature and that of President Buhari was forged, which I don't believe, because nobody will forge a sitting president's signature knowing the implication. Oh, they forged it and they did not arrest the people. They did not arrest the people. Is it possible? Until he left government, the CBN governor was still on seat. Okay, guys, watch it.
Former Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, on Tuesday, while testifying in the trial of former Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, said that the signature of ex-President Muhammadu Buhari was forged by those who withdrew $6.2 million from the Central Bank of Nigeria on February 8, 2023, to pay international election observers. On Monday, Michael Ogu, the first prosecution witness in the ongoing trial of the former CBN governor, while testifying in court, narrated how Emefiele allegedly approved the payment of $6.2 million in cash for international election observers in the 2023 general election. He said the money was given out in cash to an official from the office of the SGF named Jubril Abubakar, following approvals by President Buhari after the request was made by the SGF. Boss Mustafa told the court that his signature was also forged, adding that he knew nothing about the money reported to have been withdrawn for the payment of the foreign election observers. I mean, this story was quite alarming. I mean, it's still in court. People are saying all this money people are sharing in Nigeria, what is going on? In the meantime, senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, in a video that has now gone viral, alleged that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration distributed a staggering 135 billion naira to governors for COVID-19 in December 2023. The SAN was speaking during the 18th annual memorial anniversary in honor of Dr. Ransom Kuti. Femi Falana went further to unveil damning money-sharing practices among governors, raising concerns about financial transparency and accountability in the current administration.
In December 7, this regime, Bola Tinubu administration, gave out 135 billion naira to governors to fight COVID-19 in 2023. You know what I'm talking about? Last December, they gave out 123 billion to, not 135, you can go, to fight COVID-19. Furthermore, and this must be our demand from here. This regime must, and if we have to go to the street, it's so fundamental. This regime must,
yes,
warehouse the gains of the removal of fuel subsidy and channel it towards alleviating the poverty of our people.
Femi Falana there, a great advocate. He's been speaking so, robustly about transparency and accountability. Even the idea of this, the money from the subsidy removal given to, the poor at this point is very important. Only yesterday we talked about Bayo Ononuga saying Nigeria is a very, very poor country. And he was saying that he's hoping that these policies, including the subsidy removal, will help in our financial situation. But you had all the allegations there by SAM Femi Falana. They were... The most alarming to me was the COVID-19 funds that was distributed in 2020, just last month.
That was
a month ago.
Dr. Beko Ransom Kuti's memorial. The main story is about Femi Falana SAN asking for transparency and accountability, which is the same thing that we ask for all the time. Now, there is an NGO called Social and Economic Responsibility and Accountability Project, SERAP, that is constantly taking government to court, asking that government's primary duty is to be transparent and accountable. Every month, these state governments go to Abuja and collect money from FAC. The question is, what do they do with the money? Whether it's COVID money or it's any other kind of allocation from the federal government, it's always a problem at the subnational level. And what it means is that we still face this problem of corruption.
Yes.
Now, COVID. I think Mr. Falana is perfectly, on point to have raised questions about COVID disbursements. Look at the UK. After COVID season had passed, they've been asking questions, they've been investigating how was money spent. On one occasion, even Boris Johnson was called back from what looks like retirement to come and explain how money was dispersed. A peer who had recommended a company for some COVID contracts has had to also ask questions about what happened. How did our husband benefit? Our husband's, companies, how did they end up benefiting from contracts that are awarded? The same thing in Scotland. The former First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon, and her husband have also had to, ask questions. In Nigeria here, we saw reports of billions of money of COVID centers. What happened to the equipment procured? What happened to the money that, illustrious Nigerians contributed? I think a probe of COVID disbursements and expenditure and contributions will be necessary for us to have a closure on this. And it's good that at least one or two persons in the National Assembly had raised, questions in this regard. As for the case in court, yes, well, some of those details, are shocking.
Yes.
That a letter would emanate and the signature of the president will have been forged. And the secretary to the government of the federation saying that the letter did not come from his office, the man who purportedly collected the money does not exist in his office, and that the quality of the letter did not even conform with the standard of the office of the SGF. And yet some people collected $62.6 million. And also foreign election observers are not paid by the Nigerian government. These are some of the issues. But government is handling it. The Court of Justice Expos has ordered the arrest and the federal of certain persons involved.
Yes.
And the federal government has placed Interpol on notice and identified 3 persons whose names